The hottest new radio station
in all of Atlanta.
WARK 300.
Hello?
What's happening? It's TampaMystic out here in ATL. We're live on WARK 300. What's happening?
What's going on? How you doing?
Hey, I'm having a great day. A blessed day, a beautiful day in the A, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to have you on the line tonight. I want you to bring me all that good energy. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Samuel Lavon. I was an artist based out in Austin, Texas.
Dope. Austin is a great city. I've been there a couple times. It's been a while, but I've been there a couple times on business. Boy, talk about hot. Ooh, it's hot out there.
Kelly, I'm glad it's cooling down.
Facts. I remember the first time I came out there to Austin on business. I remember it was in the middle of the summertime, and I had to stop and get gas. And when I got out to put the gas in my car, it felt like I stepped out into an oven. I said, dang, like that heat just slapped me upside the head. I'm like, bruh, it's so hot out here. But it's beautiful though.
I'm telling you.
I just love the state of Texas. You know, of course, all the cities, Dallas, Houston, the list goes on. But are you originally from Austin?
Actually, no. I'm originally from Georgia.
Okay. Where were you born at?
I was born in Statesboro, Georgia.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you transition to Austin?
So actually, I lived in Atlanta for about 6 years, and then I left Atlanta and moved to Austin. Well, I left Georgia and moved to Austin back in 2010.
Okay. So you've been out there for a decade now.
Yeah, a decade now.
Yeah, time goes by so quick. It probably don't even seem like it, right? You're like, dang, I've been out here 10 years.
I just thought about it when you said
it. You were like, damn, a whole decade has passed already.
It don't feel like it.
Right. So let's talk about it. Like, what's it been like for you since you moved to Austin? Were you doing music prior to that, or has moving to Austin inspired you more heavily to do music? You know, give us a little insight.
Well, you know, music has always been something that I wanted to do, and I was actually, when I moved to Atlanta, I wanted to. I was looking for a producer and songwriters there, but it was just hard because I didn't know anybody.
Right.
I didn't know who to, and then, you know, Atlanta is a place where everybody's trying to do it. And I just couldn't get my foot in the door, nowhere, no how.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, I was going to school. So at the time that I wasn't, trying to find a producer or get in on somebody's session just to kind of be a guinea pig to see what they did. I mean, I was just trying to do anything that I could.
Of course.
A gopher of any sort.
There's nothing wrong with that. Get your foot in the door any way you can.
Right. But it just didn't work out for me, so I ended up moving back home to my parents' house. But then after that, I stayed home with my parents for about 2 years, and then moved to Austin back in 2010. And then once I got out here, it was just like everything that I was trying to do, it just kind of opened up for me out here. I found my producer, found my video guy, my someone to help me write songs, because it was like, without me even trying, it was just happening.
Man, I love that. Like, you know, that's what God's plan was for you, is for you to be there, not in Atlanta. And that's cool, because Austin's a great city too. I'll tell you, if I had to move anywhere else, I would move to Texas for sure, because it's definitely such a mecca for music right now. So many great artists are coming out of different cities in Texas. So that was your calling, and you know, hey, you got to go with what God has planned for you.
Yeah, and it's been good to me. I can't even, you know, it's been some hardships here and there, but
yeah,
I must say overall, I can't really complain about any of it, because it all led to where I was trying to get to anyway.
Right. Absolutely. We're all going to go through struggles in life. We can't skip the struggle. We can't skip it. You know, I wish we could just. I wish we could skip right over that thing, but unfortunately, it don't work like that. However, I think that those struggles we go through, whether it's financially, whether it's with family or friends, stuff like that, just makes us stronger, and it makes us appreciate our accomplishments more.
Right. Most definitely.
So, with that being said, let's talk about that a little bit. You know, on a two-sided thing. You know, as a music artist coming up in this business, it's tough because there's so many other people wanting to do the same thing that you're doing, and some of them are just simply in the way because they're not good at it. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to say it. They're just not good, and they're in the way. They're in the way for artists like yourself that this is your real passion and this is what you really wanted to do, and you really took the time to find the right team around you. You know, your producer, people that can help you write, your videographer. Like, you got a team that you put together, that you basically handpicked and put together. But with that being said, you know, what would you say has been, you know, one of the biggest struggles that you've had to overcome in this music business?
And when I say this, I think it's more of a struggle within myself. Understanding that not everybody is going to be on your side. Not everybody is going to, because they can be in your face and say that we support you, but when it's actually time to support you, you know, you have to make peace with those who just will not support you.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's a tough thing to understand, because and I won't say it's not that you don't understand it. It's more so of the feeling of trying to understand why certain people, like your family or your friends, are not supporting you in this. And, you know, I had to make peace with that, to understand that a lot of people don't understand that they can't really support things that they feel are not tangible.
Right. Absolutely.
Doing, you know, a lot of people will support a person going to college for something that they absolutely hate.
Right.
Simply because a degree is tangible, but won't support them in their true passion of what it is that will really make them happy.
Absolutely. You're right. You nailed it. You are absolutely correct. That's facts. People who don't understand and see our vision the way we see it, and know that, okay, in the beginning, we're not going to make no money doing this. We come to reality with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there ain't no money.
Real quick.
Ain't no money there at all. We're going to spend a lot of it, and it's going to take some time to make it back. And for people who don't have that same passion for what we do, they don't understand it. I remember people asking me, well, how do you make money doing what you do? I'm like, you know, I'm not making money yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I love. And you know, it's so funny. Let's just speak on this real quickly. When I first got in this music business a decade ago, shout out to OG Bigger Rankin. He was one of the first people that just wrapped his arms around me and helped me so much in the beginning of when I really didn't know what was what. And I remember him telling me,
wow.
He said, it was the craziest thing. We was on real shortly after I got in this business. I had the opportunity to do a Florida tour with 2 Chainz. That was like my first big experience. And I remember we was after one of the shows, we was at an IHOP like 2-3 in the morning, and Bigger Rankin pulls me outside. He's like, let me just talk to you for a little bit, because he knew I was still trying to learn and figure things out. And he said, I want to tell you one thing about this business, and it stuck with me ever since. He said, if you get in this business for the money, you're going to be disappointed, because the money ain't always going to be there. But if you get in this business because you love it, then the money will come. And when he told me that, it was so powerful to me, and it stuck with me. And honestly, that has what has seen me through this, because in the beginning, you know, was spending a lot of money, just like I'm sure you was as well. And we weren't seeing anything come back, and it can become discouraging. But, you know, you thank God you stuck with it.
Yeah, it really can. And you know, a lot of people just don't understand that it's like for me, I can say it's more than a hobby. It's not a hobby for me. to me, it's my passion.
Right.
It's even more than a job to me, because I feel like with music you can hit people in a way that you doing and I'm not knocking nobody doing a 9 to 5. I don't want nobody to think that. I think when you go after your passion, regardless if it is a 9 to 5 or doing music or being a teacher, being a lawyer, a doctor, whatever your passion is, you hit people differently and you connect with people differently when you go after your passion.
That's right.
Rather than when it's like I always say about customer service. A lot of times people get bad service because, for one, that ain't the person's passion to just be serving.
Exactly. That little McDonald's worker don't want to be there. They want to be home sleeping or smoking weed or doing something else.
You got to get people who want to be in a space of, doing whatever that particular thing is.
You are so right.
So that's what I had to, come to grips with, that I got to be my biggest cheerleader. I can't expect everybody else to do it.
Absolutely. You are so correct, man. It sounds like you got a lot of wisdom at a young age. You've really experienced a lot, been through a lot. So you've talked to us about what your biggest struggle has been, and you've been able to overcome that, which is a big deal. Let's flip to the other side of that. What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment within this music business?
Just recognizing that I can do it.
Yeah.
And becoming, because it's not, honestly, I think I've learned a lot about self-care for myself rather than even just the music itself.
Yeah.
I think me taking care of myself allowed me to make better music.
Yes.
I mean, in the midst of this album, my latest album, I was in therapy. I was going to my therapist and, talking about a lot of the things that I thought that I had gotten over from things that happened 10, 20 years ago. And, I learned how to take care of me more emotionally, more mentally, because I think that's the biggest misconception about doing anything really, especially something like music or, you want to be a model, act, or whatever. I think a lot of people think money is going to fix your problem.
Mm-hmm.
But if you haven't healed within, money, a lot of times money can make a lot of things worse because you ain't healed yourself from the inside.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Money cannot buy everything. And what you're saying is so true. You have to be true to yourself. Because like you said, there could be stuff that happened in your life 10, 20 years ago and you don't realize it, but it's still there and it could still be slightly hindering you or haunting you. Even if it's not something you think about on a daily basis, it's still in your mental and it could still be affecting you. And at some point in time, you got to talk about it and you got to get it out there,
I had the voices in my head of hearing people from my past telling me that I could not do it, or that, this is a waste of time, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was definitely, hold on, my TV just did some crazy. But
some spiritual stuff going on in there.
right. Hold on now.
That's funny.
But I still was operating, and when I say operating, I mean kind of emotionally operating from a space of emotionally stuck in childhood, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where if somebody tells you that you can't do something, you just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
Or you allow that one negative statement overtake you from doing anything else in your life.
Absolutely. Because as a child, you're so innocent and you will believe anything anybody tells you because you haven't experienced deceit yet. Or maybe you have, but you don't know what it is or you don't understand it. So as a child, your mind has not been corrupted. You're still pure. You believe what people tell you. And if people tell you, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, it's going to stick with you. And you have to actually retrain yourself as you become an adult.
Right. You definitely do. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do because the saying that I always tend to go by is it's easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men.
I love that.
And I had to kind of put that on myself where I was like, okay, I got to repair me.
Yes,
I can't look
absolutely.
for nobody else to do it. I gotta repair me.
Yes, absolutely. And it's a blessing that you understood that and you realized that and you took action behind it, because there's a lot of people out here who are not healthy mentally, and it can really affect them in many different ways, and they either don't recognize it, or if they do recognize it, they're in denial and don't want to do anything about it. And it's nothing to be ashamed of. We all go through stuff in life,
No,
you know?
no. I mean, we all got baggage. You know, we
Absolutely.
all got
You please
things.
believe it. We all got baggage. Some way
And
bigger than others, but we all got it.
right, and that's one of the things I try to. I think I'm just in a whole another mental state of progression where, we all, like I said, we all got baggage. But
Yeah.
it's not so much about, like, I'm not trying to ridicule nobody else for their baggage.
Of course.
Or
Of course.
make somebody feel small because they have baggage. Because I'm like, what do I look like ridiculing the next person about their baggage? And I'm sitting over here with a bunch of stuff in mind. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely. That makes us a hypocrite when we do that, and we most certainly don't ever want to be labeled as that.
Right.
If not for nothing, you may be able to step in and help their situation. Sometimes it just takes for them to have someone to talk to. It may not even be like monetary. It might just be, hey, I just need someone to talk to and vent to. Okay, well, I can be that person for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about this
Exactly.
record. It's called Remember That. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got some heat on the way for y'all. So, let's talk about what led up to this particular song. Give us a little history on your music creativity. Do you have any previous albums out, or have you mostly been focusing on singles? Give us, the process that led us up to the current single we're going to check out today.
Well, I do have two previous albums that came out before all of this. My first album was hashtag 8 Days Later, and then my second album was called Woke. And then this third album, the most current album, which Remember That is on, called The 10-Year Collage. And Remember That, the process really was, it was just this thing that just kept floating in my head. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. Like, that just kept it was just in my head over and over again.
Yeah.
So I recorded myself on my phone singing it, and I sent it to my producer, and I said, I need you to build a beat around it.
Hey, that's the
And
best way to do it, for sure, right there.
right, and that's a lot of the album. A lot of the album was I already had melodies and lyrics. My producer just kind of built the music around it, and I just resung the song basically with the beat. And it was pretty much I call it a Bob the Builder album, where nothing was really set in stone. It was just, I was like, let's make a beat around it, and this is what I got in mind, and we just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
But Remember That is really one of those songs where I wanted to make a feel-good song, but I also wanted to make a song where a lot of people might have told you that, you're not going to make it, you're not going to do this, you're not going to be able to do that. And then once you do, they're all of a sudden, here they are coming around talking about, I knew you could do it.
I told you so. I remember when I told you that. Remember that? Remember I told you could make it?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
remember
told
that
you.
time that I
Wow.
told you sucked, that made you better.
Oh, bruh, listen, I just had a conversation about this with someone the other day. I'm like, people always talking about, I told you so. I told you this was gonna happen. No, somebody else said it, but you just brought it to light. You didn't say, yeah, people, I get it. Trust me. Trust me. We remember that. Nah. We don't.
Right, right.
That's so who's the,
So
who made the beat on this one?
it's my producer. His name is Chris Keys.
Okay.
Kriskeyz.
So go ahead and finish telling us about the concept for the song.
So it's basically just giving that, you know, that look. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember all of that you did. Now you don't. So now don't come over here trying to get a piece of the pie because you see that it actually worked out for me.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's the gist of it. But
man,
the whole pretty much the whole album is about just overcoming oppression.
yes. Yes, absolutely. I love that. That's so important. I think that it's something that everybody needs to tap in and tune into. What has the response been from anybody who's heard the song, whether it's, some of your fam, some of your fans, some of DJs, like anybody's heard the record, what type of response have you been getting about it?
Honestly, I am actually shocked at the response I've gotten. A lot of everybody that's heard it is like, this is a good song, dude. This is a great song.
That's good.
And,
That's great.
But I really don't make music thinking about what people will think.
Of course not. Absolutely.
I think it's everybody's goal to make good music and want people to like it, but I try to just do what I can, and then once it's done, it's done. And
yeah.
those is meant for, they will come to it.
That's right.
And
that's right. Absolutely.
I gotta say the response about the single, the album, is more than what I could have hoped for, because I wasn't expecting nobody to really be on it.
hey, but you got people tapped in. Hey, that's a great thing. Congratulations, man. Like, even if you make a song and you got 10 people that love it, man, you've accomplished something, and that's just what it is.
Right.
Like you said, you don't necessarily make music for people to like it. And one thing about life, you and I both know this, and we both understand this because we just talked a lot about it, is we can't please everybody, nor should we try to. Period.
And that's what I try to stay away from. Where, I mean, people ain't gonna like how you walk down the street.
People get killed for stuff like craziness, just looking at someone weird. They will kill you over that. I'm just like, wow, I can't even look at you a certain way, and they take it so personal.
Right, so I'm like, I'm not gonna be arguing with nobody about not liking my music.
Exactly.
Keep it moving.
Facts. You focus on the ones who do like it, and that's just what it is.
Exactly.
Keep your focus on the positive vibes, positive energy. So we're going to check out this record. Before we get into it, I need you to do two things for me. One, tell everybody where they can follow you and keep up with you on your social media.
You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and it's all Samuel Lavon. And you can follow me on Spotify, Samuel Lavon. Everything is real easy. It's all at Samuel Lavon.
Hey, Samuel Lavon, make sure you keep up with him. Stay tuned. Go check out all his previous music that he has out there on the digital platforms. The other thing I need you to do before we have you introduce this record, who do you want to give a shout out to?
I really want to just give a shout out to the people behind the music, because I don't think they get their just due a lot of times in the record industry.
Facts.
My producer, Chris Keys, my video guy, Nicholas Hunt, and my photographer, Cedric Bacon. Without those three guys, none of this would have been possible. They understood my vision. They understood what it is that I wanted, and they believed in me. I don't even want to talk past tense. They believe in me.
That's right.
Like no one else has ever believed in me.
Man, that's love. You have a phenomenal team. So is Chris the one who also engineers all your music? He records you and mix and masters your music as well?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you got a great team around you. That's a blessing.
I'm telling you, I'm like, it took a long time, but you know, like you said, God knew what he was doing.
He did.
He knew what he was doing.
He said, I'm going to make him move to Austin before he finds his team because that's what I got planned for him.
Right.
Well, listen, if you ever back out here in ATL, definitely let me know. Would love to have you come through the studio, have you come check out the radio station. So just, keep in tune with what we got going on, man. Would love to have you come through.
Yeah, most definitely. I will, because I got family out there, so I'll be out there, trust.
So, well, we appreciate you checking in with us tonight right here on WARK 300. We're about to check out this record. Thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in, everybody that checked out my guy Samuel Lavon tonight. So go ahead and introduce the record for us.
This is my lead single off of my new album called The 10-Year Collage. This is Remember That.
Hey.
The hottest new radio station.
All of Atlanta.
WARK 300.
I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine. I was a shy boy, had no voice. I was quiet when y'all was making a lot of noise. I was invisible, I ain't have no choice. You ain't see me then, now you screaming, see ya boy. Cause you see me pull up in a Rolls Royce. You can't touch this MC Hammer voice. Simon says, get to the bag. What you moving for? Say where the fuck you at. Don't be a groupie in a hoopty. Talking about, don't you remember when you knew me? My mind is playing tricks on my memory. Don't remember you being this nice to me. You ain't have a problem being the enemy. So keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Don't be getting close to me. You on trial and I'm the judge. Shh. You niggas need to hush. Nah, I ain't got no grudge. I'm just letting you know what's up. I just remember that. I just remember that. When you tried to play me to the back. I just remember that. I just remember that. Nah, motherfucker, I ain't never gonna forget. I just remember that. I just remember that. When you tried to play me to the back. I just remember that. I just remember that. Nah, motherfucker, I ain't never gonna forget. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine. I ain't acting brand new, just being true to all the shit that you said that I couldn't do. Now you're looking at me like I'm a fool. I was for fucking with you. Be like Martin and run tell that. And when you do, make sure you give them fast. Make sure you don't leave nothing out. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Tell them that I'm doing it and doing it while you other motherfuckers trying to figure it out. I know that you wanna slow me down, but sway, how? I'm the homie, you the clown. And you can't fuck with me now. I said, get to the bag. Cause you know, homie don't play that. I remember the way you used to play me. I just remember that. I just remember that. When you tried to play me to the back. I just remember that. I just remember that. Nah, motherfucker, I ain't never gonna forget. I just remember that. I just remember that. When you tried to play me to the back. I just remember that. I just remember that. Nah, motherfucker, I ain't never gonna forget. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine. I remember that time that you threw me away. I remember that time I couldn't be in your space. I remember that time that you was out of line. I remember that time, so I'm going for mine.
You know, when I sit back and think about it all, I really lost a lot of people. People that I consider friends walked away from me in my darkest moments. Lost family members who didn't see me as good enough. People that I thought